Good morning, citizen. We are, by now, the time that you're watching this, enjoying day one of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. It is Drake Days, and if you've been watching my videos, you know that I am not taking part in Drake Days, only because I am taking part in a birthday party, so I will not be available to take part in this, which is too bad because I am very excited about the expo and checking out the new ships. But the day before, this is on the 17th, there is a post, a Inside Star Citizen, a cut above, and I'm assuming this is about, yes, this ship here, the Drake Cutter. So I'm going to watch this, at least the part about the Drake Cutter, with you and kind of give my thoughts about that, and then I'm going to go a little bit into more about my initial thoughts and then what I think about this after the Drake Cutter. So this is going to be just a short video, just me kind of looking at this, seeing what it says, and then doing a little bit of research, and that is it. So anything happening on day one of the expo, I will not be able to be covering live. Hopefully I'm going to be able to check out the expo starting on the weekend and at least seeing what's there and going over the ships. So currently, if we go to the pledge store, there is no current deals going on, no packages, nothing new. Also, I don't see the cutter anywhere in the ships. So from what I understand right now, the cutter is not available. It will be, I'm assuming, available tomorrow. I don't know if it's straight to flyable or if it is going to be a concept, but based on what I've seen, based on the pictures and the footage, I'm assuming it's going to be flyable, but we will see. It's probably going to be explained in this video here. Most of you will already know this answer before I do and before this video is posted. So let's check this out. I'm going to adjust the volume down a bit so that it's not so loud. Let's watch this here.
IAE is here, and with it the biggest showcase of ships and vehicles this side of the Stanton system. And over the next 2 weeks, we've got videos galore dedicated to the new ships being introduced.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of videos coming out, which will be kind of interesting.
The way that we make them out here IRL, and updates and reworks to some fan favorite. But to get things started this week, it's time to talk starter ships.
They're talking about reworks. I'm assuming they're talking about the 600i. Maybe they're talking about things like the Mercury. Maybe that's getting its update. Well, that looks like an Archimedes. Is that what that was?
A player's first entry into the game that gives them that little taste of what the game can do.
It should be relatively simple.
Yeah, simple starter ship. So wait, is the Drake a starter ship then? The cutter?
They matter in the overall scheme of things.
That's a Pisces.
So why not start with a little ship that can do a little bit.
Got the Aurora. Oh, there it is. Beautiful ship.
Ready for the bigger universe.
Another Aurora.
Even if you had every ship in the game,
oh, that is not what my hangar looks like. Not even close.
You don't want to risk your big value.
I don't think it'd be almost too much.
Or like finding people to play with isn't always like that evident.
Yeah.
And you might just.
I like to say, if you're going back to that shot of that ASOP terminal, that I kind of hope that eventually there's a way to kind of organize ships that you're not seeing and having to scroll through your massive line of ships. You're trying to take one out. Maybe if there's like a favorite ship or recent ships, that would be something interesting. But now they're talking a bit about finding gameplay and why solo gameplay is sometimes more important.
Feel like playing for an hour or so, and then a starter ship is perfect because you don't have to have a whole team to manage.
Yeah, like usually I only play for an hour or two. I don't play 12 hours. So
0 to hero is when people start out with one of the basic ships and try and work their way up using only in-game loops and in-game currency to buy one of the larger ships for a certain themselves.
Or, and I'm going to do a little bit of self-promoting here, if you give away all your money, all your gear, use up all the fuel on your ships, and limit yourself to one ship with hardly any fuel and absolutely nothing, that is a true 0 to hero. Something that I tried with this last patch. So I do have a series on that, starting with absolutely nothing. Not even an undersuit, not even any equipment, food or water, and $0. Check that out. It's definitely. I'll put a link in the description below for that series. I've done the starting from nothing and working way up a few times, mainly because really all you need is a small ship to play this game. You don't need to buy the big ships. You're looking at the starter ships. The starter ships are where it's at for new players, just to try all the game loops, try something out, and get a feel for the game to see if this is really something for you. Or something like this Intergalactic Aerospace Expo where you're able to try the big ships and use them to earn money in game. And then once the expo is over, you can then continue working with the basic ships that you have. So this is at Lorville. You're going to see we have a Hammerhead and a Constellation here. So maybe there's going to be a few more ships you can see eventually here. I'd like it if they switched this out every once in a while and showed different ships in here.
I personally enjoy doing that sometimes because it gives you a new perspective on the game. When you first came into the game, maybe it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. The experience then is different to the experience now, so it gives you that reset.
Constellation.
I think you just made one hell of a good decision.
A lot of our current lineup of starter ships were developed back before our game loops really became a proper thing, and that means that we're in a really good position at the moment.
Before the current game loops became a thing, we're still missing data running.
Modern game loops. And that's where the Drake Cutter comes in.
Ooh, so this makes me think it's going to be flyable because this is definitely
the Drake Cutter is Drake
the ship flying around looking like it's in engine.
It provides a well-rounded experience for one person to just go take on all that the verse can offer.
Cool.
It's a ship that is very
oh yeah, that's the interior of this cutter. All right, this might be straight to flyable.
To be as safely as possible while they do their starting gameplay loops.
You'll notice
it's very blocky, very Drake.
Materials and the whole look of the ship and how it's built. It's not really aerodynamic.
No,
it's very
not aerodynamic.
Bolted on and like put together out of like different kinds of metals, and like some are more rusty than others. It's using the Vulture.
All right, I'm gonna have to disagree with that for a little bit. I don't see the point in making new ships. Drake ships are known to be kind of rough and tumble, a little bit more exposed, not so sleek. But why make it rusty? Why make your ship rusty when you start out? When you could have like, it'll get rusty over the years that you own it. I would rather that than starting out with rusty metal. But I mean, they got the flake paint here. Maybe it's showing lower quality. They're not using the best paint for Drake. They're just getting it on, getting it out, and it's chipping off.
VTOLs. It's also using that Drake signature.
So that was the Vulture VTOLs. Lots of exposed tubes.
Functional but robust. And slightly janky looking.
The gold windows, kind of a nice touch. Kind of reminds me of the Carrick Best in Show from a few years ago.
Is actually the way that it flies. It's got big engines, but quite small maneuvering thrusters.
So it's going to be kind of heavy.
Relatively fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start trying to,
kind of looks to me like a little like a baby Cutlass. Oh, they're taking it around the race course though. So, it's still turning. What's the speed there? Oh, it's only going like about 80? So good maneuverable. Under 100 it looks like it's maneuvering. That's not bad.
Everything is quite tactile on the inside. There's lots of levers.
Keep saying work in progress. But if this is able to be flied, is it still work in progress?
Other manufacturers would do. It's all exposed insulation and pipe work just to
get that. I like the Drake look. Very industrial, very like the Aliens movies. Is that like fire suppression? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a pretty. You could probably fit. You definitely fit like a Nomad, the hover quad in there. So it's like the components there. I wonder if you could fit like a. Could you fit? You think a rock in there? If so, this is a pretty good contender for better than the Nomad for a starter. Got a bathroom here. It's got like the toilet sink. It looked like there was a shower up on the roof there.
With a little reading light.
Oh, that's a cool little touch. I would never have noticed that button there.
And some shelving.
Shelving.
And then through on the other side of the hab is the cockpit, which is where the last two components live. The pilot seat and dashboard.
So that could be like your cooler or something. There's another component there. And then, yeah, this is more and more looking like a little like baby Cutlass. Same kind of seat that lifts up. But this one is another one that rotates and swings you around. 3 MFDs. Nice field of view. That's pretty cool.
Most is just how evolved it is compared to some of the other starter ships. It has a cockpit with a really tactile experience in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Onboard living quarters and storage,
yeah,
as well as an actual cargo bay that you can fit cargo and larger things in. So it gives you lots of variety in what you can do with it.
The Drake Cutter is for everyone.
It's for everyone. There you go.
Everyone will be able to find a use for.
I think so. Looks good so far. I mean, a use for the current gameplay loops.
Tough,
again,
relatively fast ship.
Compared to the other starters, I think a lot of it comes down to personal preference on looks. It's quite a cool looking ship. It's got a bunch of little cool features, like I love the little slidey armor windows that you can pop into place.
Oh, I wonder if those will ever actually be useful.
It's just quite well rounded.
It has access to more gameplay loops than you'll get in any other starter. You'll be able to carry other people. You'll be able to carry a vehicle if you're careful. You'll be able to very easily get mission boxes in and out. You can do a little bit of bounty hunting if you're very careful. It makes a very good explorer.
Very
very
careful.
Tanks compared to the other starter ships. It's like we took a Cutlass and made it tiny.
There you go. Baby Cutlass. Yeah.
The Cutter is Drake's first foray into starter ships.
I wouldn't say if it's better than every other starter. I would say the Nomad is about equal as far as what it can do and what it allows you to do.
2952 launches proper tomorrow. But who is Drake Interplanetary?
All right,
Creator of the
we're going
new
to talk about
Cutter.
Drake now. We're going to go back real quick and scrub to there. Looks like you could probably fit that in all right if you don't ram it in the side there. I would say I'd put this on par with the Nomad as far as its ability to do multiple things, but the Nomad I think holds more cargo. This one, what did it say? 4 SCU of cargo. Overall, kind of a cool looking ship though. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna do a little bit of quick research into the Cutter. Okay, looking into the Cutter, we have, it looks like 650 internal micro SUs of storage, so that's things like storing weapons and food that you find in you. Crew of 1, 4 SU of cargo. It's 20 meters by 16 meters by about 6 meters high. It is a lot smaller than what I thought it would be. When we were looking at the original image of this ship coming straight down in the expo, in the advertisement for the expo, I actually thought this might be a medium ship, but when I saw the 4 SU cargo in the leak, it makes much more sense that this is a much smaller ship. It may be the case that 2 SU of that 4 is shielded, but it doesn't appear to be the case when I saw that interior cargo area, so I might be wrong on that. But I did see something about this might have shielded cargo, which would make it good for smuggling, which would fit in with the Drake aesthetics. 2 size 2 gimbals with size 1 repeaters on there. Kind of nice as a standard to have that, especially as a new pilot using the ship, and it's something that's maybe not going to turn super quick. The gimbals might help you out, but you can switch it out for size 2 guns, which is pretty cool. 4 size 1 missiles. And it looks like it has a 1-minute claim time, which is pretty cool. So overall, I think this is a pretty cool ship. Now, the one thing that I could not find, and I don't think anyone knows yet, would be cost of this ship. Now, they're calling this a starter ship. So if I would go to something like the Pledge Store, we go to game packages, we're looking at starter ships. Now, starter ships, what is the price going to be? It's definitely going to be over $45. It's not going to be the same price as an Aurora or the Mustang, not at all. But we're looking at here, if we go all the way up to something like a Cutlass, the Cutlass on its own is a $100 ship. The Cutlass starter pack is $115. There's no way that the Cutter is going to be this expensive. And the reason why I know that is because it is not superior to the Cutlass. The Cutlass is a better overall ship. But we're looking at starters. And I'm looking at it, and I said that it's comparable in my mind to the Nomad, but I don't know. Will they price it the same as Nomad? Is it going to be $95? It's probably going to be less, at least right now, at least with a war bond. It'll be lower, but maybe 95, which in my mind might be a little much for the ship because it's a little much for the Nomad. I would really put this closer to something like, say, like 70, 65. 70 would be the price that I would like to see this at. Probably not going to be the case, but that is it, the Drake Cutter. So hopefully by the time this video comes out and you're watching this, you'll actually know how much the cutter is going to cost. But it looks like the cutter, and this is what gets it more exciting, from what I understand there, from what I heard in the video, it is the loaner ship for the Expo. That's what I'm assuming this year's loaner is going to be. Everyone is going to start out with a cutter, and that makes sense if that's the case. It's a new ship. Give everyone the new ship. Get them flying the ship and really loving the ship so that the people will want to spend that money and get that ship. So if you are looking to get into the verse, maybe the cutter will be the starter for you. If you're looking to spend the minimum, just get yourself an Aurora or a Mustang, but otherwise this might be a viable option. So I'm definitely going to look into that, see what that price is, and hopefully sometime this weekend when I'm back and into the verse and checking out the Expo, I will know by then and I'll be able to say what I think about this. I'm going to make a little other announcement about CCU. Something that I found kind of interesting is that there has been an issue a lot of times with CCUs. If you're looking at CCUs and upgrading ships, that you haven't been able to get CCU war bond ships. It appears, based on what I've read, CCU war bonds are going to exist for this expo, but they're being done in a really weird and odd way. Meaning, this war bond CCUs to Drake ships are only going to be available on the first day. Every day that there's a manufacturer, that's the only time those Warbond CCUs are going to be available. They're only going to be available for about 24 hours, and they will not come back. There's going to be different Warbonds CCUs happening in the last days of the expo. That is what I've read, so that's kind of a cool but also important thing to know. So if you're looking at making plans and thinking, I might want to Warbond to this, I'm going to think about it, you're going to have 24 hours. Every day the Warbonds are going to be changing as far as CCU upgrades are concerned. So that is it for now. This is it. Tomorrow, the expo starts. By the time you are watching this, the expo should be on. If you're looking to get in the verse, make yourself an account. Click the link below to make your account if you don't already, so that you use a referral code and get the bonus money involved in using a referral code, and get into there, download the game, and play the game for free during the entire expo. So until then, I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.